Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I have Naomi here with me. She is going to be doing some videos in the future with us, helping us learn about spinal cord injuries. But I thought it was really important to get to know her and her story. And so she is here with us today to tell us her story. Do you want to start by introducing yourself and then you can just jump right into sharing?
Yeah, Ray, thank you. My name is Naomi. I am a C4 quadriplegic with no function from my shoulders down. I got injured 5 years ago, July 31st, in a sand dune accident. I was with a family friend. We were driving up on this one sand hill. We couldn't tell that there was a drop off. So we went up and we were in a truck, not any kind of um, ATV or anything with a roll cage. So when we went up, we flipped front over end just once, and as we did, I broke my neck and damaged my spinal cord almost instantly. From there on, everyone gathered around us, and I only really remember stuff in flashes, but it did take Silver Lake 3 hours to get me out of the truck. I had no oxygen, no medical intervention, whatever. So how my body kept me alive for 3 hours is pretty amazing. I owe my life to it. I really don't know how it did that. From there, I ended up in ICU like many of us do. I was there for about only a month and a half, but honestly felt a lot longer.
Mm.
So I immediately went into an 8 hour surgery. They stabilized my spinal cord. I ended up with 2 plates and 4 screws right at my break, and my C3 through 5 are fused together. But I ended up with great mobility of my neck and my head. It's how I'm able to drive my chair. But there's a lot more recovering to do, other than obviously fixing the spinal cord. Anyone who has a spinal cord injury know that it affects everything in your body. So because I was trached and on a ventilator, I could not talk for a few weeks, which meant I could not breathe on my own and I could not eat either. So I ended up with a G tube and a TPN and was on my vent constantly. Once they started to lift up the sedation, we got a respiratory therapist in there. I started to work on my breathing and physical therapy. I started getting sat up and put into the recliner chair they had in the room, which was very difficult, but also so happy to get out of bed. And then came all the other issues of preventing pressure sores and, keeping my blood pressure up, keeping fevers down when your body goes through a major shock. It wants to fever, it has a hard time regulating anything. So, worked on all that. Eventually, I started to be able to breathe on my own. I do still have my trach. For a while, I used a talking cap, which lets air flow through it still, so your lungs aren't doing all the work, but you can still, it plugs in enough where you can still get your voice out and talk a little bit. Then that same day, I started eating semi solid food. I was on a minced and moist diet. And so once I was well enough, I ended up going to rehab and I was there for about 2.5 months. We worked on breathing better, speech therapy, helping me to eat. My swallow was affected because my injury is so high up and I did have the trach. We worked on core balance and figuring out what I could do still, even though my spinal cord was injured. So I did get some mobility back on my shoulders. I do have feeling everywhere. It's more just a pressurized feeling. Not exactly the same, but I'm blessed to have it. So I continuously worked with occupational therapy and physical therapy to learn how to shower, um, learn how to transfer. I'm a Hoyer transfer, so I worked on that and just trying to realize what life is like now and process all of that grief and anger and sadness and all the emotions that come with your life changing forever. I did have my sisters and my brother there to help me, and I ended up coming home in one of my sister's care. And we worked really hard to try to find a routine, to try everything we could do, but at some point we realized just the reality of how high of an injury I am, how immunocompromised I am, how much work I am. Not to say that because you're a lot of work, they can't work at home, but also realizing the fact that, my cares took up a lot, that I'm completely dependent on somebody else, and that was really hard to do at home. So I made a hard choice and I ended up going into a nursing home. I've been in 3 homes so far. I've been in the one that I'm at for 2 years, and I enjoy it. And I actually enjoy teaching people how to take care of me and helping them learn and help them realize different people's way of life and how we live and how we need to be taken care of. But also the fact that we're just human like anyone else. You know, most of us are very lucky to still have our thoughts and our brain intact, and us younger people want to still just live a full, anyone just wants to live a full life, honestly, and continuing to do so with a disability that doesn't stop us. We just have to find different ways to live the life that we want to live. So in my current house, there's about 20 of us. So obviously the care needs to be divided up equally. We have good enough support staff that helps take care of all of us. There's so many different disabilities in one house, which I find really interesting that we all coexist together and make friends with each other and learn about each other's different ways of life. We, I have a routine. I'm pretty particular about my care, but my sisters, my number one advocates, have instilled in me that I can take up space and that I'm not being too much, that I deserve basic level of care and more, that I'm young and I like to be a girl and I like my jewelry and I like to paint and I like my makeup done, I like to read, and that I should still be able to do all of those things despite being in a home with multiple people. So we all have our routines, and mine honestly is pretty laid back. I like to get up or chill in bed. I take my meds and I like to chill out. I don't like a lot of people around me, honestly. I am pretty independent with my phone, with my TV. I can pretty much control my whole room through my phone. I have an Amazon Echo that helps me a lot with my lights and my music and volume control. There's a lot of ways, even with my voice, that I can use technology and things around me to figure out to get what I need done. So I don't constantly have people around me, and I really enjoy that. Another way I can, use my mouth is I paint. I hold a stick in my mouth with my paintbrush and I have it set up. Still working on a way to do it more independently. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know because I would love to. Because right now I still need somebody with me to do that. But I would love to just be able to sit and paint freely. I still have so many goals that I would like to accomplish, and I'm still working on them. And there are setbacks that happen, whether it's physical health, mental health, family problems, just not feeling like it, but there's a reason that we're all still here. And whether that's something huge and profound or something small, it matters. Also, what comes with a spinal cord injury is figuring out this new way of life, how to take care of ourselves. A lot of us, fortunately, do have a great support system, but in reality, no one can understand the shoes that we're in except for us and people like us. And even me, I have a hard time connecting with other people that have spinal cord injuries because I feel like I'm so unique in a way. I have a trach, but I breathe room air when I'm on a vent at night. I can't really move much, but I can feel really, really well. And trying to explain that to some doctors and physicians and therapists can be really difficult because not a lot of them have any background in spinal cord injury. The world doesn't have any background in spinal cord injury. The last statistic I saw, there was over 300,000 of us in the US. And it doesn't even feel like that because it doesn't even feel like we're recognized. And I want these videos, I want to be a part of making sure that we're recognized and even just more disabilities are recognized and have to just be spinal cord injuries. I think we're just the tip of an iceberg of a community, of a whole community out there of people
Mhm.
similar to us, different from us, but just the fact that we are here, we deserve to be here, and we deserve to have these doctors and physicians and therapists recognize what we're going through and to help us without having to fight every inch of the way.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like you have to be the expert, which
Yeah.
is
And it's
crazy.
like I'm coming to you because I need your help.
Hmm.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. I was told to come to you,
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know?
It's
But
like you almost have to find the solution and then go to them with it and say, can you
mhm.
do this for me? And, as the patient, as the client paying for these services, that's not how it should be.
Yeah, and that's even if insurance will approve the testing and the meds that you know you need or are of last resort try because you have tried everything else
Yeah.
and you have to fight insurance as well as fighting the doctors. Like it's just a huge runaround. And
Hmm.
there's no one to help you deal with it except for yourself. I constantly get told like you are so strong, you handle this with ease and reality is I'm not most of the time, but if I don't do it, who else will? Who else is gonna make sure that my skin looks good? Who else is gonna make sure that I'm on the meds that I need to be on? Who else is gonna make sure I'm getting enough sleep, I'm getting enough range or exercise? I am. And it can be exhausting. So it's just a little bit about my story. I am looking forward to sharing more and just hopefully helping people.
Yep. So next video is going to be a Q&A style video with Naomi.
Mhm.
So if you have any questions, leave them down below or you can message us. We'll have this posted on a couple different platforms. So just leave your questions wherever you're watching it. And the next video, we will cover those. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we can't wait to keep working with Naomi and just putting info out there so that people can learn more about spinal cord injuries because the more educated we are, the more we can just grow this community and help people and hopefully just improve the world for people with different disabilities. And that's kind of the whole goal here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.